Test, 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 test. Good evening, everybody. Y'all go ahead and come on in. Hopefully you can hear me. Come on in. And type in, where's mine? Type in your city, state, or country if you're not from America. As you can see, I'm multitasking big time tonight. You made it, boy. Come on. Come on. 21, right? Come on, son. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Tried to tell you, son, you work. That's what I'm talking about. You in there, son. Sixth grader. Son, you did it, boy. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Sorry. My son made the 8th grade basketball team as a 6th grader. And I think he's the only 6th grader that made it. Wow. 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 Yeah, he made it. He made it. Real big deal. Now I need a nanny because I ain't no way. I don't. How in the world am I gonna manage this schedule? How, son? Where you at? How in the world am I gonna manage this schedule, son? Oh, I need the game schedule, son. I'm gonna have to put this stuff on my calendar. I don't know how I'm gonna manage all of this, son. This is just,
It's gonna be insane.
yeah, but how in the world I'm gonna manage this and her schedule? And I have no idea. I'm hiring a nanny this weekend somehow. Something's going to give, guys. All right. Congrats, son. That's what I'm talking about, boy. You're a little sixth grader, boy, on that eighth grade time. I tried to tell you, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. All right. Hey, everybody. Good evening. That was live. I appreciate all of you and your support. Our daughter plays college basketball. It ain't for the faint of heart to get them there, but it's not. My kids are just 12 and 13. My daughter's on club volleyball. She's in club volleyball. That's insanely busy. Now my son is playing 2 ages up. He's just in sixth grade. He made the eighth grade team. Um, so I'm gonna have to, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a nanny or something. I don't know. A wife would be more convenient, but at this point, look like Jesus gonna come back before that happens.
Oh my God!
So I just don't know how I'm gonna manage all of this. Y'all, city, state, country. Y'all go ahead. Let me get locked in. I apologize. That was real time. Um, I just got started and son said, "Hey, did you check?" He thought they posted it and it was there. Yeah, my son made the eighth grade basketball team. He's in sixth grade. Rochelle, you remember four, you met four. Um, and so this is a really big deal. He's playing 2 years up. His trainer's gonna be stoked. He's put in a lot of work. Um, and he had me check it as soon as I came on the live because he said one of his friends told him that they posted it. Yeah, these are good problems. City, state, country. We'll talk about this in a second. All right, Phoenix, thank you so much. Greensboro, Nashville, Raleigh, Chattanooga, Memphis. Um, Thank y'all. Augusta, Colonial Heights, Pennsylvania. Appreciate you. Atlanta. Thank you, Gigi. St. Louis, Troy, Alabama. Thank you, Aiden. I appreciate you. Um, Bedford, Texas. Orlando, St. Louis, Detroit, Pennsylvania. Um, yeah, Gigi, my calendar opens on the 28th. There's really nothing I can do until the 28th. That's when my calendar goes open. I'll have a flyer about that coming in a couple of days. Virginia Beach, thank you so much. Interweb's nephew, I appreciate that, Carla. Detroit, Miami, Irving, Dallas, Odenton, Opelousas. I hope I said that right. Appreciate that. Traby snapping. Chicago, DC, Brooklyn, Dallas. Thank you. Detroit. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Plainsboro, New Jersey, Georgetown, South Carolina. This don't make it happen. Let it go is blessing me. Very good, Stephen. It's good to hear that, sir. I'm happy to hear that. All right. Let me get my background lights on. He came in right in the middle. I hadn't even finished setting up. I'm just really happy for my son. My son tried out for AAU basketball 2 years ago, and he was only 10 years old. And when he tried out at the age of 10, he tried out for a 12 team and didn't make it for a very notable team here in this area. And he didn't make it. He was devastated, and I was devastated because I felt like he was definitely good enough, not because he's my son. You guys know me in real time. That I try to live and function in self-awareness. And so if a person just isn't good enough, they're not good enough. I don't care if it's whoever. But he was absolutely good enough to be on that team. But it could have been because of his age, and obviously he's a small kid because he hasn't hit his growth spurt. And one of the things I tried to encourage him to remember is that he hadn't hit his growth spurt. This was 2 years ago. And so he has still not hit his growth spurt. But as a sixth grader, he tries out. We got him a trainer earlier this year. He just played City League ball last year. Got him a trainer earlier this year to really build his skills more. I don't have the time to work with him like I really want to. So it was a worthwhile investment. And I saw the guys coming out the gym the first day. It was a 3-day tryout. And these were really big kids, really big kids. And my son hasn't hit his spurt. But I told him, he's got a shot to make it because skills pay the bills. I didn't hit my growth spurt, my first one, until I was in 7th grade. It was a small spurt. Then I hit another spurt in 10th grade. And then I hit another spurt my freshman year in college. I grew 3-4 inches in college and stopped at 6'3". So he hasn't even hit his spurt yet, but he's way more skilled at his age than I was when I played. And I told him skills pay the bills. By the time he hits his spurt, he's going to be unstoppable. So at 6th grade, small kid, he makes this team of all of these big kids, but it's clear it's because of his skill. And Giselle was telling me how all of the 7th graders today were, in her words, glazing him. They were like, we didn't know your brother could play ball like that. And they were glazing him. And so he made it. And just really proud of him. He's really put in the work, and this is a really big victory for him. So, yeah, politics is strong in youth sports. Very political team, just because of the person who runs this particular AAU club team. And so I get it. We're not known in this area, but I told him to keep his head down and work, and this is where we are. So, all right, y'all, it's good to be here. Thank you. For give me a second to just kind of process this. Really happy for my children. Let me say all of this too, in conjunction with that. Um, so I may have to do one of two things about Thursday lives. Number one, they're not going anywhere. So my weekly lives are not going to change. They're not going to stop. But you guys know that I am a single parent, and I take parenting very seriously, even if it's frustrating and hard sometimes. I do take it seriously. And so my daughter's club volleyball schedule is going to kick in full gear next Thursday, and she won't get out until 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means I'm either going to start lives at 10 o'clock on Thursdays, or I'm going to change the live day for the next 6 months, because that's how long club is, a couple of months of practice and then like 4 months of tournament. For 6 months, I may move the live to Wednesdays, so I can keep the same relative time. And instead of doing a 10 o'clock start on Thursdays, because then that's going to force me to have to be done in an hour. I can't keep you guys on live until midnight. And so this is what you do when you're a parent. You have to make adjustments. And I would highly recommend all of you to do that. I love y'all, but I can't leave my kids because of y'all. Okay. And one of the hardest conversations that I had, one of the toughest sessions that I had with a client a very long time today, where I really just went off on a client about piss poor parenting. parenting matters. If y'all not gonna be good parents, stop having sex.
Oh my God.
Just stop. Stop smashing people. If you're gonna make kids and then not make the adjustments to make sure that they do what they need to do, stop smashing. You need to go on a lifetime celibate journey. Because there are so many trash parents out here who enjoy what it takes to make a baby, but don't like making the sacrifices after they get here. So they didn't ask for this. You know, they love what daddy does, but at the same time, they need their daddy. And I'm mindful of that. And my parents do a really good job of helping when I call them. And so I just need to, I'm going to spend some time this weekend. I've got to get on a plane in the morning. But I'm going to spend some time this weekend looking at their schedule. I'm going to get my son's schedule now on the calendar. My daughter's practice schedule is already there, plus her club stuff, games that start January, February, March, April. So it's a lot going on. I am blessed to have an assistant now. Danielle, shout out to her, who lives in the DC area. But yeah, I might have to look into getting a nanny or some type of personal assistant that's local to me, that can help out with things like that, right? And so I'm good. Everything is fine. You probably can look at me and tell I'm a little tired. Literally, I walked in the door and made sure that they were settled, and came right to the computer and cut it on. And so I don't want to do that. I want to be fresh when I'm doing the lives. Now I know tonight's going to be a good live because I'm exhausted. So you're in for a good live. There's never been a bad live. We've never had a bad live when I was exhausted. So I know what's going to happen tonight, and I'm going to teach tonight. But I've got to make sure that they're taken care of. And so what I'm leaning towards is probably Wednesdays at 9:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those of you that are in churches or temples or mosques, you should be out by then. If you're on the West Coast or East Coast, West Coast, you may not even be in yet. For those of you that have Bible study, the mosque or things like that during those times, that's what I'm leaning towards. Give me the weekend to play with this, and I will let you know. I will have this official by Monday. Okay, Monday, I'll have it official so that you've got time to adjust. And I appreciate your support. Can't forsake you. This work is so helpful for so many people, and the feedback says that. But Doc's got to be a daddy too, all right? And they're getting bigger, so their responsibilities are going to be greater. And that means it's going to require more from me, which means I've got to scale in a different way too. Which, exciting news, I should be dropping the syllabus for all subscribers. Shout out to all of my subscribers. Thank you for your support. Those of you that are subscribed on Patreon and Instagram, I should be dropping a syllabus on next week that outlines the entire catalog of teaching for 2026. And it is a doozy. So I'm really ramping up in that subscription space. I shouldn't have to bother lives, I don't believe, on Mondays. I may have to pull those to Tuesdays too, just because of my daughter's practice schedule. And so, again, I'm going to work on all of this weekend. But if you have not subscribed, I would highly recommend you do so, because I've got that coming up and some other very exciting things that I don't want to speak too prematurely on, that I think will be helpful. Okay. Thank y'all so much for your support. And thank you for everything you do. Do me a favor. If you haven't already, like the video, share the video. All right. Like the video, share the video, and encourage someone to come on. Our numbers actually aren't bad so far, but they're going to get better as we get into this. Let me also mention too, November the 28th, my books will open up for new clients. So if you are interested in being a new client, November the 28th is when my calendar will open up for new clients. And I want you to prepare for that because that fills up really, 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 really quickly. All right. It fills up really quickly. So I want you to prepare for that. November the 28th. I'll have a flyer coming out next week as well. Next week is a big week. New Orleans is happening next weekend. Those of you that don't have tickets for my New Orleans stop, grab your tickets. They're $20 tickets. Grab those. That's next weekend. The syllabus for subscribers rolls out next weekend. I'm literally going to paint for you what I'm teaching in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December, almost down to the week. And it's going to be laid out. And I may even have some deals on the 28th for those of you that want to go ahead and become subscribers for the year. I'm working on a lot of different things. So that will roll out next week. Any time adjustments will roll out next week as well. And so there's a lot moving. And so make sure you mark your calendar. You will see on the flyer what time those links will go live. I would highly recommend you set a timer and a reminder. Last time I opened my books in May, it sold out in 12 minutes. All the slots filled in 12 minutes. All right. And so please, ma'am and sir, I would love to work with you. I am working with Danielle to restart my waiting list. And so after I get through this wave of opening, probably at the beginning of the year, we'll start a waiting list, and maybe that will help to get people moved on a little bit faster. And so a lot moving here, but just make sure you mark your calendar. Again, ma'am, sir, if you're going to do couple session, please talk to your husband, talk to your wife. If they don't want to do hard work, y'all don't take up a space that somebody else could have. All right. I love y'all and I'm saying it in love, but please talk to your spouse before you sign up and buy these big packages. And then you have to send me emails crying because you want a refund because you finally talked to your spouse after you booked and your spouse was like, I don't want to talk to that guy because he can't tell me nothing. Okay. Y'all talk to your spouse. All right. Make sure you do that for me. I really would appreciate it. All right. And more announcements coming soon. If you don't have the work, order the work. The pre-orders for the work or orders for the work are going really crazy. I'm almost out of stock on the work. And so between now and November the 28th, I'm quite sure those are going to be that first run of the work are going to be gone. And so if you haven't grabbed that copy, do that. I've got more announcements, but let's get right into this really quickly. Real quick, if I say anything that resonates with you, make sure you type church in the comments with as many R's as possible. I want you to support the show. We did not support the show very well last week. I'll tell you why I uploaded it. I had an individual reach out to me who is a truck driver who was on the road and really could not concentrate on the message. And this truck driver sent a note saying that she, because it's a woman, really needed that live and really asked me to make it public. And so that's why I did it. I need you guys to support the live tonight. All right. Support the live. As you can see, I am literally running from thing to thing to thing to thing to make sure that we provide these lives for you every single week. And many of you have already admitted the obvious that most of you in 90 minutes tonight will get more therapy and counseling work than you get all year with your therapist and counselor. All right, so this is valuable information. And so I want to challenge you to support. The ways to support are on the screen. And of course, Naomi the G is always the first one. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate your support as always. And thank you for supporting me the way you do. All right. And so make sure you support the show if you haven't already. Here comes Miss Barbara in a close second. I think you and Naomi have a little competition going on, but support the show because this is going to be one of the ones. This is going to be a good live because it's not only a good topic, but because I'm tired. And anytime I'm tired, it's gonna be a good night. All right. So I got to get up at 2 in the morning so I can do 2 workouts so that I can also um, do that in time to get out of here to catch a very early flight. So I'm not changing my routine, nothing. I'll be moving on probably about 2 hours of sleep, if that. But we're gonna make it happen, okay? And that's just what it is.
Let me put that stuff in a container.
Yeah, just in a tall round one, honey. Thank you. You okay? What's your brother doing?
I'm not sure. I think he's upstairs.
Oh, you're probably on the phone calling all his friends. Oh gosh. Well, your friends will really be glazing them tomorrow, big time. So let's get right into it. And I really appreciate you and your support. Finally, let me shout out all of my moderators who do a really good job of monitoring the chat area. Make sure you use the chat area to not only record your notes, but to engage with one another. This is Inspire Nation. And so we try to keep this community as professional, but as open and honest as possible. I would be a hypocrite to be open and honest and blunt with you, and you all can be open and honest and blunt in the comments as well. Just keep it respectful. All right. And if you see a stupid comment in the chat, don't go back and forth with people in the bird section. Eagles fly higher than birds. Just drop an eagle in the chat area. This is especially for those of you that are watching for the first time. Drop an eagle in the chat area, and our awesome moderators will shoot the birds out the sky by getting them out the chat room. All right. So that's all you got to do. So again, shout out to all of our moderators who do a fine job. Doc is very appreciative of you. All right. So let's get into this. The ways to support the show are on the screen. Going to ask the moderators to occasionally flash that there. But I want us to get right into this. Tonight's topic: 5 ways to maintain a healthy headspace. Put that in the chat area. Let's get to work. 5 ways to maintain a healthy head space. Now, you'll notice I've been doing a lot of conversating and a lot of talking tonight over the last couple of weeks about the holidays and what the holidays look like in the context of things like grief, anxiety, because I'm very mindful of the time of the year that we're in. We're nearing the holidays in a couple of weeks. Regardless of your religious or cultural background, people celebrate a variety of different things from the months of November, well, actually, really September through December into the new year. And so your headspace is going to be critical. This is the first thing that I want you to remember, though. This is your very first note. Put it in the chat, put it in your journal. Wow, y'all are really supporting tonight. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Callie girl. Put this in the chat. This is your first note tonight. Consistency is the litmus test for healing your mental health. Let's start here. Let me build a foundation. Consistency is the litmus test for building or for healing your mental health. Consistency is the litmus test for healing your mental health. Consistency is the litmus test for healing your mental health. One of the things that I'm asked often is, Doc, how do I know I'm making progress on my healing journey? Particularly when it comes to maintaining a healthy headspace and managing my thoughts. One of the clear indicators of progress is consistency. Pay attention to how consistent you are able to manage and control your thoughts. It is a great litmus test because that consistency will be a litmus test to help us to understand if we're making real progress in managing the thoughts that we have and being able to control them in a consistent way. Given that, how can we measure it? Pay attention to how much you flip flop mentally about anything. Pay attention to how much you flip flop mentally about anything. Let me tell you something. If you are flipping and flopping, going back and forth about any type of thought, about any area of your life, if you are constantly going back and forth, your mental health cannot be trusted. I want to say this again. If you are constantly going back and forth in your head with your thoughts about anything, relationships, work, your money, your kids, whatever. If you are constantly going back and forth about anything in your mind concerning your thoughts, concerning anything, your mental health and well being is not trustworthy. It's not trustworthy. And I'm going to put this in just plain English. I don't trust nobody whose thoughts flip flop. Today they like you, tomorrow they can't stand you. Today they believe, no, at 9:47 p.m., they believe things are going to work out on their job. In 1 hour, they got doubts and they're crying and eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream and watching Lifetime. Oh my God. Anybody whose thoughts flip-flop that way, their mental health, well-being, and stability is not trustworthy. Now, I know I have clients, viewers from all religious backgrounds and cultures, okay? And I'm grateful for that. But oblige me and allow me to just be a Christian for 30 seconds. One of my favorite verses that supports this mental health work that I do says that a double-minded man or woman is unstable in all their ways. Watch. And the verse continues and says, let not that man or woman expect to receive anything. Oh my God. When you are double-minded, you are absolutely unstable. In fact, let's take it a step further. Your double-mindedness is a reflection of your mental health, stability, and trustworthiness. Which is why, if you're going to measure your mental health, I think I'm starting to wake up a little bit. If you're going to measure your mental health, one of the first places to start is how much do you flip-flop about life in general? And this is how I know a lot of people are really off. Not because they're bad people, not because they're horrible people, but because their thoughts are not stable. Thank you for your support, Latrina. Their thoughts are not stable. And when you are double-minded, when your thoughts flip-flop about anything at any given moment, not only can we call your stability into question, we can call your trustworthiness into question. Why trustworthiness? Because we don't know the version of you that's going to show up at any given time. Oh my God. So your thoughts are not stable. We flip-flop because we allow most times external environments, external factors to control what's going on internally. And because we do, it causes our thoughts to be all over the place. And if your thoughts are all over the place and you're connected to anybody, family, friends, your children, coworkers, it doesn't matter. You won't be trustworthy because they won't know what version of you is going to show up. Oh my God. This is important, y'all. If for nothing else, you need to stabilize your thoughts so you can get out of this double-minded place. Let me tell y'all something. You want to know what the new sexy is in 2025? Y'all want to know what the new sexy is in 2025? Because I know y'all going to be making your vision boards in a couple of weeks. Talking about the man and woman that you want next year. Some of y'all want to be in Christmas pajamas in a couple of weeks. You want all this stuff. Let me tell you what the new sexy is, though. It ain't a six-pack. It's not how much money you make. That stuff's great. It ain't how in shape you are. Wonderful. You want to know what the new six-pack is? Predictability and consistency. I know, because some of you, that's broken, that's boring. In fact, let's just add a third one on there. I don't know why I left that one off, probably because I just mentioned it. Predictability, consistency, and stability. I know, that's boring to some of y'all. Some of y'all, predictability is boring. I like a little razzle-dazzle, Doc. I like my man, I like my woman to give me some razzle-dazzle. I like to not know what's coming sometimes. Listen, a surprise every now and then ain't a problem, but let me tell you what's sexy. Predictability, consistency, and stability. When I know what I'm going to get at all times without waver. And you know how to build predictability, consistency, and stability? Stabilize your thoughts. Because I'm going to tell you, if your thoughts aren't stable, if your thoughts are double-minded, you will not be predictable. If your thoughts are double-minded, you will not be consistent. And if your thoughts are double-minded, you will not be stable. So let me put you on free game. For those of you that got dates this weekend, you got a hot date coming up. Here's an easy, fun question to ask. Hey, ma'am. Hey, sir. You're a very attractive person. You're a very attractive man. You're a very attractive woman. Talk to me a little bit about your predictability, consistency, and stability. That's probably what y'all gonna hear. Some of y'all. Because everybody can talk about how much money they got. Everybody can talk about how much money they make. When was the last time somebody sold themselves and talked about how reliable and predictable they were? How when you get with them or get around them, whether they tired, they happy, they angry, they sad, they hungry, they full, it don't matter. You're going to get the same version of them at all times. When they got a million things on their plate, or they got one thing on their plate, they're going to do their best to try to show up the same way all the time. It's 2025, and some of y'all still measuring shoe size and measurements. Oh my God. What you need to be measuring is how predictable, consistent, and stable they are. Because I'm telling you, predictability, consistency, and stability is the new sexy. And I know some of you in your 20s, some of you in your 40s, you acting like you in your 20s. But let me tell you something. Heal and mature. And what you're going to discover is that one of the greatest qualities anybody can have in your life, it ain't just romantic. This can be from friends too. This can be from friends too. One of the greatest qualities you can get from people is to know what version you're going to get of them every single time and to be able to count on it. To know that the people you got around you that you can count on. Because let me say it slow. Everybody you counting, you can't count on. Whole lot of us counting people that we can't count on. Oh my God. But when you heal and mature a little bit, you'll start wondering when you're evaluating people, is this somebody I can predict what they're going to do before they do it? Because they have a track record of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Is this someone that I can predict is going to show up in a consistent way? Why? Because they have a track record of being consistent over and over and over again. When they're tired, when they're broke, when they're hungry, when they got a lot going on. Are they stable? They might not be rich. They might not have a six-pack, but are they stable? We think financial healing is about being a millionaire. It ain't about being that. It's about being financially stable. Because stability creates dependability. Is this making sense? All right, y'all with me? You supporting the show? Considering that, let me give you 4 things I want you to consider about your mental awareness, and then I'm going to get into the things. I told y'all this was going to be plain, but it's going to be brutally blunt in a little while. Y'all asking for the wrong stuff. I'm telling you. I love a good surprise every now and then. Surprise Doc. Doc loves a good surprise. And Doc is great with coming up with surprises. I'm a great planner. Okay? But let me tell you something. At this ripe age, with all of these responsibilities I got, when it comes to the close connections that I have in my life, I need to know what I'm going to get every time. And you can't be nonchalant and stable at the same time. For all you people in your 40s and 50s still acting nonchalant like you 16. Oh my God. You can't be nonchalant and stable at the same time. I don't care who you are. You can't be nonchalant and predictable at the same time. Oh my God. You can't be nonchalant and consistent at the same time. Oh my God. That's for all you nonchalant lovers out there. Let me give you 4 things to consider regarding your mental wellness or mental awareness. Now, we know what self-awareness is, right? Put that in the corner of your notebook. If this is your first time joining, write in the corner of your notebook the definition of self-awareness. What's my definition of self-awareness? It's honesty about who we are, where we are, and what we're doing at any given time. Write that in the corner of your notebook. Just sit it right there, right? Because I want to give you 4 things to consider regarding mental awareness. Okay? Let me give you 4 things to consider about your mental awareness. Y'all support the show. Let me get that moved off so you can see me clearly here. All right, we'll get it back up there. Moderators, just continue to monitor. Let me give you 4 things I want you to consider regarding mental awareness. All right, number 1. You ready? You need to be more interested in your mental clarity than your success. You should be more interested in your mental clarity than your success. Why? Because success without mental clarity is temporary. Let me help some of you folks that want to go viral, that want to be known, that want your business to take off, that want all of this stuff. I don't know why. Now my visibility has been restricted on TikTok. I don't know why. I didn't do nothing. I don't know what they're talking about. TikTok is just TikToking. Let me talk to some of you that want to see your business explode. You want all of this notoriety and exposure regarding your work and your business. Let me help you. If you don't get your mental clarity together, if you don't have any mental stability, your success is temporary and will be short-lived. Here's the breaking news. You can be consistent, and as you're being consistent, get a little bit better as you're being consistent when it comes to things like posting content, and you can go viral. But if you ain't got no mental clarity, you ain't gonna stay viral. Oh my God. It's all temporary without mental clarity. Now, as a believer, I'm not going to turn this into a Bible study tonight, I promise. But this is so very fitting for me as a Christian. My Muslim friends, atheists, y'all bear with me for a second. As a believer, we take this a step further. Not only is your mental clarity important for your success, the devil is more interested in your mental clarity than your success. Well, Doc, I don't believe in the devil. You believe in God? Can't believe in God if you don't believe in the devil. I'm not going to turn this into that tonight. But let me tell you something. There are enemies working behind the scenes that are more interested in you not having mental clarity than they are you having success, which means you can get success without mental clarity. But we have proof in Hollywood, in major media, where people have received success with no mental clarity, and it's been short-lived or it's been drama-filled. And you don't want no kind of success you can't sustain. You know why? Because mental clarity ain't got nothing to do with how much money you make. It has nothing to do with what products you're selling. It has nothing to do with how many times you go viral. It's got everything to do with your mind. And this is why, among many reasons, I tell people that if you're going to heal, you don't start with your physical body. You don't start with your emotions. Everything starts in your mind. Everything starts in your mind. Which is why, and I ain't gonna call no names, no famous people. They might end up being clients one day. But this is why, if you just scroll on social media and look at some of the garbage you see on your timeline from people, entertainers, and famous people that we all admire, who have all of this money, but don't have enough stability to manage the success. They can still make hit records and still make movies. But without that mental clarity, it's not going to last. Oh my God. It's not going to last. Which is why, if I'm being honest with you, I didn't even want my work to go viral and be on this level like it is now until my mind was stable. And I'm grateful that that took place. You know why? Because sometimes some of y'all get on my nerves. Oh my God. And I'm talking about the comments that I read, the crazy comments that people put on in my inbox and DMs and on my videos. Lord, if I didn't have a stable mind, I would be cussing everybody out. Oh my God. Just being honest. Why was that important? Because I wanted a success that could be sustained. And the best way to sustain success is by having a stable mind. This is making sense? I appreciate that. Gary Joe said this is therapy and comedy. I'm with that. One of my dream goals is to be able to do a 20-minute stand-up set somewhere and maybe open up for somebody like Dave Chappelle. Y'all laughing at me. I'm telling you, Doc is underratedly funny. Oh my God. Is this making sense? Here's the second thing I want you to consider about mental awareness. You ready? The second thing I want you to consider about mental awareness is this. What you allow to stress you will also control you. Oh my God. What you allow to stress you will also control you. You know why some of you don't have control over your life? Because you don't have control over your stressors. You let everything, everybody, including your mama and your daddy and your uncle and your aunts and your you let everybody stress you. And anybody that controls your stress controls your life. I got a story coming, y'all. Client, this is a long-time client. I've been working with her for just under 2 years, off and on, not consistently, just off and on. I got a story I'm going to share with y'all that's going to wear you out. Where a client of mine, I can't believe she agreed to let me tell it, but I thanked her so much because I said, you ain't listening to me. So when I share your story, I want you to read the comments. A client of mine told me about her 75-year-old mother who is dysfunctional, like she is. That, Doc, I agree with you on everything you say to me, but when it comes to my mama, she will never be dysfunctional to me. You know what was so crazy about that statement? I can't wait to tell this story. You know what's so crazy about this statement? Is that this same client is going into debt, financial debt, because of decisions she's not only made, but decisions her 75-year-old mama has made, who, by the way, gets a check, retirement check every month. So she's stressed out, but wondering why she ain't got control. You can't make this stuff up. She says to me, no, that's my mama. My mama will never be stressed. Baby, you're delusional. You're delusional. Dysfunction is like a bullet. It ain't got no name on it. If your mama dysfunctional, she dysfunctional. If your daddy dysfunctional, he dysfunctional. This thing going. If your pastor dysfunctional, he dysfunctional. And it never ceases to amaze me how we give passes to people who own most of our stress. Have you ever wondered why you gave a pass to people who own most of your stress? I'll tell you why. Because typically, if there's somebody close to you or family members, God forbid, something like that, you put them on a pedestal and you think that they are allergic to dysfunction because of their title. And those be the same people who own the majority of your stress. Stop giving passes to people who own your stress. She told me straight up, nah, doc, you losing me there. My mama gonna always, she ain't gonna never be dysfunctional in my eyes. And some of y'all not only feel that way about your mommy and daddy, you feel that way about Pookie and Keisha too. In your eyes, Pookie and Keisha ain't gonna ever be dysfunctional. Meanwhile, Ray Charles can see that Pookie, Keisha, and your mama all dysfunctional. Let me help y'all, and I mean this seriously. What you allow to stress you is gonna control you. And we're going to have to learn, and this is in one of the ways when I give you the 5 easy ways to get some mental or to maintain a healthy headspace. One of them really connects to that, the one I just gave you, really good. One of those ways connects to the thing that I just gave you really well. But let me tell you something. Some of us need to do a better job of monitoring the source of our stress. Some of us need to do a better job of monitoring the source of your stress. Because when you can pinpoint the source of your stress, you then have an obligation and a responsibility to do something about it. And some of you are acting like you blind and can't see the stress when everybody can see it. Stevie Wonder can see it. You got to be honest about the source of your stress, or else those stressors will continue to control you and your life. Just leave it on the counter. Third thing I want you to remember, y'all supporting the show? Support the show. Third thing I want you to remember regarding mental awareness. You ready? Third thing I want you to remember regarding mental awareness, this is where it's going to get brutally ugly. A lot of our mental and emotional anxiety is connected to poor decisions. A lot of our mental and emotional anxiety is connected to poor decisions. Not how much money you got, not where you grew up, not who your mom and daddy is. Some of you are mentally and emotionally drained because you make horrible decisions. And I had a friend of mine say this to me. It's on my 5 things video that comes up Monday, that was profound, that I hadn't heard I'd never heard before. She said, Zeb, when we're born, we look like our parents. When we die, we look like our decisions. So some of this stress, this mental instability some of y'all got is because you know you're making bad decisions. And you keep making bad decisions and expecting something good something good to come from making bad decisions. How are you going to consistently make bad decisions and expect something good to come out of it? How? So when you are making bad decisions and consistently make them and have not made the adjustments to stop making them, and then you complain about being mentally stressed out, it is the definition of delusion. It is the epitome, it is the prime example of what delusion looks like. That I'm going to complain about the outcomes of decisions I consistently make that I refuse to adjust and do something different. And y'all tell myself, I'm stressed out. I'm mentally drained. Yeah, no wonder you drained. I'd be drained too. If I kept making the same dumb decision over and over again, but did not operate in the self-awareness necessary to change it. What you think gonna happen? Huh?
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something. You're going to fix 80% of your mental awareness challenges just by making better decisions. And I know y'all are getting your vision board together and you want a boo, and you want a man and a new job, and you want your business to jump off to 5 figures a month. You all this stuff. Great, wonderful. I want that for you too. But at the top of that list should be Lord, God, Buddha, Allah, Mother Earth, Miss Science, whatever you pray into. On the top of that list should be, help me be a better decision maker. If you want to set a priority list for your wish list, decision making need to be right up there at the top. Oh my God. Because everything else and your ability to sustain it is contingent on the decisions you make. Everything else and the quality of everything else is contingent on your decision making. Bad decisions, bad mates. Bad decisions, bad careers. Bad decisions, bad finances. Bad decisions, crazy kids. Oh my God. So everything on this wish list you're going to put on for 2026 is contingent on the quality of number one. How well do you make decisions? Doc, are you because I hear some of you now. Doc, are you saying that every decision I make gotta be perfect, Doc? Every decision gotta be perfect? No. Decisions don't have to be perfect. This is why some of you need to download my value system immediately. Because I teach this. Thank you, Miss Tammany, for your support. I appreciate you. I teach this in my value system. When you are on a healing journey for real, you recognize that making decisions is not about getting it right, it's about getting it aligned. And subscribers, Tammany's a subscriber. They've heard this a million times. I teach this on Mondays. When you are lining your life up and creating alignment in your life, you recognize that making decisions ain't about getting it right. You know why? Because you can't control other people. You can't control what you can't control. So you can make a decision that aligns with your values, and that person aligns with your values, and then they turn out to be Jason Voorhees. You ain't got no control over that. So what does your values tell you to do? Well, your values probably tells you to leave. Then you ought to leave. Did you get the decision wrong? No, because when you evaluated them, they measured up to your values. They changed. So when you evaluated them, they aligned. That's all that matters. You don't have to get it right. You just need to get it aligned. Y'all need to get that value system ASAP. Because I'm telling you, at the top of your wish list for 2026 needs to be, I want to be a better decision maker. Good decision making is going to solve 80% of your problems. I know some of y'all don't believe that. It's going to solve 80% of your problems. %, 80% of them. Let me give you the fourth thing I want you to remember about mental awareness, and then we're going to get into these 5 ways. And we're going to run through them real quick. This making sense? It's going to solve 80% of your problems. And the crazy part is, some of y'all still making decisions on dumb stuff, like how you feel. Uh-oh. Oh my God. I love y'all, but Doc, gonna tell you the truth. It's 2025, and I put out a lot of information about a healing journey, what that looks like, including creating something called the 5 areas of healing. If in 2025 you are still making decisions based solely on how you feel, you are in a severely dysfunctional place. Oh my God. Your feelings for the millionth time will fool you and make a fool out of you. The goal is to make clear-minded decisions that your emotions agree with, not that your emotions lead. And if your emotions are still leading your decisions in 2025, I'm going to need you to come out of the caveman and cavewoman days. Because if your emotions are unstable and you're being led to make decisions with your emotions, then you can't be shocked that your life is unstable too. Oh my God. Hello? In the words of my dad would be teaching to be like, hello. My dad is great. PhD from G Tech. One of the smartest men I know. But he just stopped me like, hello. You straight? Everything good? Does that make sense? If you are still making decisions in your emotions, your life is an unstable, hot mess. I guarantee you, your life is an unstable, hot mess. Stop it. Okay? Thanks, Mike D. Appreciate your support. Let me give you this fourth thing I want you to think about. You ready? And then we're going to get to the 5 ways. Number 4, fourth thing I want you to consider about mental awareness, and then we're going to get into the 5 ways you can be in this healthy headspace. Fourth thing I want you to consider about mental awareness, it's okay to have a moment, but consistent moments will change who you are. Let me go ahead and humanize y'all real quick, because some of y'all think I'm being too hard. It's okay to have a moment, but consistent moments will change who you are. It's okay to have a moment, but consistent moments will change who you are. Let me humanize you real quick for those of you that think this is too hard. Y'all, it's okay if you have a human moment. It's okay if life gets a little rough and it gets the best of you for a second. It's okay if you've had a bad day. It's all right. It can happen to any of us. But let me tell you something. Having one bad day and having a bad month, 2 totally different things. And you know why you want to be very mindful that a bad day, or be very mindful to make sure that a bad day doesn't turn into a bad week, that doesn't turn into a bad 2 weeks, that doesn't turn into a bad month? Because the word moment is part of the word called momentum. It is one of my favorite words in this space. I love talking to clients about momentum. You know why? Because momentum can be either positive or negative. Momentum is a series of perpetual moments. Momentum is a series of perpetual moments. Momentum is a series of perpetual moments. So, if you're having one bad moment, that's fine. If you keep having a lot of bad moments, you're going to create something called negative momentum. And that's when you get in those spaces where you start saying stuff like, if it ain't one thing, it's something else. Every time I turn around, I got to deal with something else, etc., etc., etc. Why? Because you have a pattern of negative moments. But here's the good news. Momentum can be negative and positive. And the best way to have positive momentum is not to go out here and try to get a big win. It is to try to get one win and let that one win create a second win. And that second win create a third win, and then a fourth win, and so on. Some of us are trying to snap out of spaces of negative momentum by getting a big win. That's like a big snowball rolling down a mountain and you standing in front of it talking about some hope. You're going to get ran over. That ain't how you stop negative momentum. When your negative momentum is that big, the best thing you can do is get out the way. I talk about this in the book. I think it's in the 5 areas of healing, where I talk about momentum and how we can use momentum to course correct our thoughts, to stabilize our thoughts so we can stabilize our emotions. But when you got negative momentum going It's like standing at the bottom of a hill and a car is coming down the hill moving backwards, and it's been traveling for the last 200 yards. By the time it gets to you, that car going about 40, 50 miles an hour. Stand behind it like this if you want to. You can get ran over. This is why, y'all, you got to be careful not to allow bad moments to continue to pile on one another, because it can get so overwhelming that it can literally destroy you. We course correct this, y'all, by creating one good moment and allowing that good moment to create a second good moment, so on and so forth. When is the best time to stop a rolling car? I'm glad you asked, Miss Tammany. I think I talked about this in the book. The best time to stop a car rolling backwards is to stop it when it first starts. And this is why you have to pay attention to the moment. Because if you had a bad moment, stop the moment. No. Let me rephrase that. Let the moment go through, but when it finishes, correct that bad moment. Let me just put this in another analogy. Set a car on the top of a hill. I think I've explained this in the book and explained this before on a live. Put a car on the top of the hill, put the car in neutral, jump out the car. That car's going to start rolling backwards. The best time to stop that car is as soon as you jumped out the car. You know why? Because the speed hasn't picked up. The momentum hasn't picked up. It literally has just started rolling. So get in the car and stop it right away. Your negative thoughts work the same way. When you have a negative thought, allow it to pass, but you better work to stop it. After it passes, you better work to stop it, or that one negative thought can create a second one, a third one, a fourth one, and before you know it, you are laying in your bed crying with the covers over your face. Does this make sense? It's the easiest way to understand momentum. It's a very simple analogy, all right? So again, 4 things to consider about mental awareness. 1, your mental clarity matters more than your success. 2, what you allow to stress you will also control you. 3, a lot of our mental and emotional anxiety is connected to poor decisions. And number 4, it's okay to have a moment, but consistent moments will change who you are. Is this making sense? Y'all supporting the show? Let's get into the 5 ways to maintain a healthy headspace. Y'all, I ran out of water tonight. I had an old bottle of Pellegrino. I didn't even get a chance to check my inventory this week. Like, I'm literally just running from thing to thing. And so I miss my water tonight, my normal water. Oh, I really miss it. Thank you, moderators. Let me throw that up. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate that. Throw that up so people can, that those of you that are taking notes, and get it on the screen so that you can see that and write that down. 4 things to consider. Tiff has the 1 and 2 there. Gave it some time, and there is 3 and 4. Thanks so much, Tiff. Appreciate you. Hey, while y'all are getting prepared, let me say this to you. Yeah, I'm gonna have. That's Miss Saratoga. That's exactly what it is, Kim. My brain. Y'all running on fumes tonight, but we getting there. I hope this is helpful. Next Saturday, New Orleans. Tour stop is in New Orleans. If you have not purchased your tickets, make sure you do that. Consider this just a little quick intermission, because I don't want to forget to tell you guys these things, because I got a million things going on and running through my brain right now. New Orleans next Saturday. Purchase your tickets. New Orleans team, shout out to them. I'm doing a really good job. Sion and her team are doing a really good job of making that tour stop click. Got some radio interviews coming up. It's going to be a great time. Excited about it. And then, of course, the finale is going to take place in Atlanta, December the 14th at noon. And we have just added singer and performer Peter Collins, who is outstanding. It's going to be great. Really looking forward to hearing him. Again, heard him for the first time in DC. He's amazing. He's going to be at that stop. Also, if you have not grabbed your copy of the work, do that right away. The first run of the work is almost sold out. And so I know it probably won't make it past the weekend of the 28th. That tends to be a very big week for me in my work and products. 5 areas of healing is almost sold out again. And learning to love the life you live is almost sold out again. So it's just crazy. Make sure you grab a copy of these things because they may not be back in print until the beginning of 2026. All right, let's get into the 5 ways to maintain a healthy headspace. Number 1, y'all support the show. Y'all supporting? I really do appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate you. Oh, wow. Thanks, Mike D. Appreciate your support, sir. Tickets are not sold out in Atlanta, but it's almost 50% capacity already. Atlanta is rolling. Atlanta is rolling. My goal is to also have all of my site coordinators there in Atlanta. I'm just excited, just want them to just be there. They were really instrumental to helping me do my first tour. I'm thinking about ways to better do my tour in 2026. Okay, Kim, I got you. I'll check it. To better do my tour in 2026, and so it's just going to be a really good time. And New Orleans is selling pretty well as well. Also, 5 ways to maintain a healthy headspace. Number 1, you ready? Take responsibility for what you can control and nothing else. Take responsibility for what you can control and nothing else. Hey, listen to me now. I don't care if it's your mama, I don't care who it is. Stop wearing responsibility for things that are beyond your control. Cut it out. If you get into this place, thank you, Miss Carletta, for your support. Or Carlotta, I appreciate that. If you get into this space where you start taking responsibility for other people's stuff, good luck with your mental wellness. You know, client that's gonna let me share this mama story that's gonna blow y'all away had this problem. Because she thought that just because this was her mama, she was supposed to carry the responsibility of her mama's dysfunction. In what world? In what world? Parents are created to bear the burdens of their children, not the other way around, until a parent gets older. And if that parent has gotten older and that parent has raised that child, then hopefully that child recognizes the value in being able to pour back into their parents. But in 2025, I'm finding there's a whole lot of parents that's walking around here wanting kids to take all the responsibility for their grown up adult behavior. And it's foolishness. Oh my God. Take responsibility for what you can control. Nothing more, nothing less. There are no exceptions to this rule. Worry about what you can fix. Let the rest be. And some of you are going to struggle with way number 2, especially if you have control issues. Uh-oh. Oh my God. All you people that's got, let me tell you the people who are going to struggle with this. You want to know the people who are going to struggle with way number 1? I'll give you a list of people. People with control issues, overthinkers, people pleasers, I'm going to call them Mr. and Mrs. Nice Guy and Girl. Here's a better way to just summarize that. People with false humility. Because when you are a nice guy or a nice girl, and when I say nice guy, nice girl, I mean nice guy, nice girl with no boundaries, that's really false humility. It's not real. Oh my God. So I'm telling you, if you got control issues, if you're overthinker, people pleasing, you got false humility, you won't be able to take responsibility for what you can't control. For what you can control. Or rather, you will continue to take responsibility for things that you can't control. You think it's noble. And I had to tell this client, ain't nothing noble about taking responsibility for your mama's dysfunction. Ain't nothing noble about that. Well, that's my mama. You only get one. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. Well, let me tell you something. The way she raised you, you lucky you are here. It was brutal. It was a brutal conversation. I can't wait to share the video. Ain't no exceptions. There is no exceptions to this. Y'all, way number one, take responsibility for what you can control and nothing else. And if you know you have control issues, if you know you're an overthinker, if you know you're a people pleaser, if you know you're Mr. or Mrs. Nice Guy, nice girl, you know that these are already possible barriers that you're going to have to work through. So you can start seeing things for what they are and not what you hope they were. So you can start accepting responsibility for what's yours, nothing more, nothing less. Oh, people that are victims of guilt tripping. Let's add y'all to the list. Let's call y'all guilt trip victims. Oh my God. If you're a guilt trip victim, you're going to struggle with this too. You know, you folks that let people play with your emotions and put your emotions on a string and bounce you like a puppet because they know you already have an anxious attachment style. You struggle with people pleasing. You're an overthinker. So they try to bounce you emotionally like a puppet when you finally decide to make healthy decisions. Or you finally decide to only control what you can control. I'm telling you, it's a blind spot. You better fix it. Let's keep moving. I'm making decent time. I might actually be able to get 2.5 hours of sleep tonight. Way number two. Here's the second way you can maintain a healthy headspace. You ready? Way number two. Never make the moment bigger than what it is. Never make the moment bigger than what it is. I'm going to fuss at y'all a little bit right here. Thank you, Ms. Rhonda, for your support. I appreciate you. I'm honored to be a part of that rescue effort as well. Thank you, dear. Never make the moment bigger than what it is. You know who really struggle with this one? Yeah, it's false humility. Y'all be thinking you you just think that being a nice guy, nice girl is just so noble. Really, you being fake. You're really trying to be nice guy, nice girl to try to control outcomes. And not only is that fake, that's really manipulative. Manipulation at its finest. When somebody's being Mr. Nice Guy or Miss Nice Girl in order to get what they want, that ain't nothing but manipulation. Oh my God. Nothing but manipulation. With your sweet, people pleasing, no boundaries, overthinking self. That's all it is. Hey, never make the moment bigger than what it is. You know why way number two is big? Because you know who struggle with people? You know who the people are that struggle with making a moment bigger than what it is? I want you to remember this. People who have no perspective. The key to way number two and not making a moment bigger than what it is, there are many keys. But when I came up with these 5 and looked at data like I do every week when I'm preparing my notes to pull out themes to turn around and then teach you guys, one of the glaring things about making a moment bigger than what it is that I saw as a parallel is that most of the clients and people that I've worked with who are overthinkers who make a moment bigger than what it is also struggle with this word called perspective. Let me tell you something. When you ain't got no perspective, everything is a big deal. Let me just go ahead and make some of y'all piss right here. When you ain't got no perspective, everything's a big deal. When you don't have perspective, everything's the end of the world. When you don't have perspective, every time is a hard time. Perspective. Me and the kids were laughing. Let me go on and piss some of y'all off because there's always one. There's going to be somebody on this watching this live or the replay if we post it. Hey, y'all, support the show so I can leave this up, please. Me and the kids were laughing. What's today? Thursday. Might have been Monday. We come into the house from somewhere. It was Monday. We had come from my daughter's volleyball dinner, parents and family dinner, with her new team, and we had pulled into the garage, and somehow we were talking about social media and stuff, and something came up about the storm in Jamaica. Shout out to Jamaica, by the way. A lot of support. I'm sorry I didn't even mention that, y'all. I'm sorry. It was ripping and running tonight. No excuse. Shout out to Jamaica and those of you from Jamaica that support my show on a weekly basis. I appreciate you. Certainly, our thoughts and prayers and support go out to Jamaica. I was just there for my birthday, literally, and the kids and I were talking about it. And we're pulling into the garage. But what got me though is my kids hadn't seen these videos on TikTok about these people. Now some of y'all ain't gonna agree with this. That's fine. I don't care. We saw these videos on TikTok where these people were complaining and laying the hotel staff out in Jamaica because of the food they had to eat and the service they were receiving after that hurricane. And my kids were like, Daddy, there's no way you're telling the truth. I said, yes, it is. Go on TikTok and just search it. Jamaica complaining. And just look. That people had the audacity to lay out, fuss out hotel workers, many of whom their working conditions were better than their living conditions. Meaning the resorts that they work in are actually nicer than their own homes that don't even have a lot of them firm floors. So they lost everything but came to work to get something. And the best thing that people could do was complain that they had to eat a bag lunch. I'll tell you why they complain. You know why? Because folk like that ain't got no perspective. Oh my God. I don't care. You ain't got to like me. I like me. Folks like that have no perspective at all. Thank you, Yay391. I appreciate your support. People like that have no perspective. They have no perspective. You know why? Because when you got perspective, as much as you want to make the moment of having a cold lunch, bag lunch, a big deal, perspective says, you know what? Some of these workers, they don't even know where they're going to live. Perspective says this country, part of this country has really been ruined. And it's going to take them a while to recover. Perspective says when they open the airport, I get to get on a plane and come back to my nice warm house or apartment in America. Oh my God. Some people make moments bigger than what they are because they don't have perspective. Let me tell you something. Right under that list that I told you about 2026, by the way, I should have the new course information coming out in November. I always do a beginning of the year course too. There's so much, y'all, that I'm rolling out. That's why Doc don't get no sleep. That's why you can see these big bags on his eye. I know I look terrible tonight. Y'all gonna be all right. I'm here. But on this list of stuff that you're gonna be working on in 2026, right under making good decisions, better decisions, some of y'all need to add perspective on it. On there. Because perspective will control what you complain about. Perspective will control your ability to have something called appreciation and gratitude. Perspective will help to lower your stress levels. How dare I come in here and complain because we ate leftovers when there's folk that lost their whole house and they are waiting on food to come. How dare me complain about having such a busy schedule and the kids got me everywhere and I have to come right in the house, put my keys down, kick off my shoes, come right in here, cut on the ring light, cut on my computer and have 5 minutes and then start a life. How dare me complain when there are people that's begging for clients? How dare me complain with a waiting list when I had my waiting list rolling? I had to demolish it and restart it after we did the last opening in May. How dare me with a waiting list of over 100 people complain about not having enough time? See what perspective does? Perspective takes your complaining and it shuts your fat mouth. Oh my God. And this will help you to stabilize your thoughts in a very clear way. You will be in a healthier headspace when you learn how to function in perspective. That brings me to number 3. I'm almost done. This making sense? Some of us complaining a lot because we ain't got no perspective. Some of us are ungrateful because we ain't got no perspective. And this is why, if you're a parent, and I'm talking to you right now, you're a parent, you need to be teaching your kids how to have perspective. It's going to stop all that whining and complaining about what they don't want to eat, what they don't want to wear, da, da, da. And there are a lot of ways you can teach them. You can teach them through words. You can also put them in the car and take them to where homeless people are and help them feed some people that don't have any place to stay, don't have any food. My kids did outreach with us at our church when they were 4 and 5 years old. And they loved it. One of the most beautiful things in the world. I was not in the position then as I am now, but I knew one day things were going to turn around. And I was grateful for that moment. You know why? Because now that they are living a better life, if it's one thing my kids is not, it's ungrateful. My kids are very grateful. My kids came to the Charlotte tour, and many of you that were at the Charlotte stop, Tiffany Watson was really great with my kids. My kids talk about Tiffany Watson all the time. There were many of you that met my kids at the Charlotte stop, and some of the best feedback that I received from that tour was not feedback about my talks and how packed the room was. Some of the best feedback, I had people write me and say, I gave your kids a gift. And they kept saying thank you. They really appreciate it. How thankful, how nice it was. It's called perspective, folks. And if you're a parent on these lines, you better teach your kids how to have some. Make sense? Here's the third way. Here's the third way to maintain a healthy headspace. Third way to maintain a healthy headspace, record this, allow tough times to reveal the truth about who you are. Allow tough times to reveal the truth about who you are. Let me give you a little sub point to go into that. You ready? I don't want you to trust nothing that ain't been tested. That includes you. I don't want you to trust nothing that ain't been tested, and that includes you. You don't need to trust yourself if you ain't been tested. You don't need to trust that raggedy relationship you in if it ain't been tested. You don't need to trust that raggedy connection you got if it ain't been tested. Because let me tell you something. When you test connections and people are under pressure and under fire and under offense, you really get to find out what you got. Oh my God. I don't trust nothing that hasn't been tested. Nothing. Y'all want more dating advice? I gave y'all some dating prompts earlier. Let me give you another really good question you can ask. Ask the next person you go out on a date on, hey, tell me about the last time you were disappointed. Oh my God. What was the last time you were disappointed or done wrong or mistreated? How did you handle it? And if they give you an example and it don't sound believable, ask them for another one. Oh my God. Some of y'all gonna do that, and some of y'all gonna hear this. It's a wonderful question. You know why? Because it speaks to how people have been tested. And you should not trust anything that has not been tested. That includes your healing journey. Which is why, before you say, I'm healed, doc, I'm healed. I've been on this journey, I'm healed. But you ain't been with nobody since the last person that broke your heart. You ain't been on no dates since the last person that let you down. Nobody has got on your nerves since the last person that got on your nerves or the last person you broke up with, then I don't know if you can trust your healing journey yet. You don't need to trust nothing that ain't been tested. I hear it all the time in this space. Doc, I'm not making fun of nobody, y'all. I'm just being honest. I hear it all the time in this space. I hear it on the tour. Doc, I'm so healed. I'm so healed. I'm so healed. But then when you say something or do something that they don't like or they get offended by, all of a sudden you find out they ain't as healed as they think they are. Oh my God. You know how many people I've met that claim they was healed until they got offended? You know how many of y'all think you healed, but you ain't been offended yet? We can test who you are by allowing the tough times to reveal the truth about who you are. And until you have gone through a tough time, until you have been offended, until you have been done wrong, until you have been mistreated, I don't want you to tell me how healed you are. Let me see you pass the test. Oh my God. Let me see you pass the test. And let me tell y'all something. It's nothing wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that if you have not passed the test, that doesn't make you a horrible person. It just means your bones got to get stronger before you can declare healed. It's okay. You're not a horrible person. You're not just this bad human being. You're not the scum of the earth. You're not a less than. It just means you're not battle tested. And it's better that you find out now than to get 6 feet deep in something and then find out then. So I don't want y'all trusting nothing that ain't been tested. I don't want you to trust that raggedy relationship you got in until it's been tested. Some of y'all that went public. You didn't date them. You didn't been on 2 dates. You've been on 2 dates, known them for 5 weeks, and you already public and introduced them to your family. Y'all ain't had no arguments. Oh my God. Y'all ain't had no disagreements. Oh my God. Y'all have not offended each other. Oh my God. And you quite sure this the one? I doubt it. You can tell me it's the one when y'all have gotten on each other's nerves, offended one another, and let me see how y'all bounce back. Now, I see a really good question. Do you need to be 100% healed before you start anything? That's your choice. But let me give you an analogy to make it make sense. As a former athlete, I know what it's like to pull a hamstring. Does my hamstring have to be 100% healed before I get back on the court? No, it doesn't. I can get back on the court with a hamstring that is still partially strained. But if I have the ability to run up and down the floor, I can get back on the court with that partially strained hamstring. But here's the follow-up question. Am I going to be my best when I'm not 100%? Am I going to be my best on the court if that hamstring is not stable? If that hamstring is not predictable? If that hamstring is not consistent? I'm not. Oh, I might get a little spurt here and there. I might get a steal or get a shot here and there. But guess what? Eventually, they're going to have to do what? Pull me right back off the court. I tell people that's a personal decision. But some of you continue to go back into bad patterns because you keep trying to approach things halfway healed. This is why some of you are on injured reserve right now, because you keep trying to approach things halfway healed. And until you fully heal, you might get a run, but you ain't going to last long. You might get some action and some progress. You ain't gonna last long. Oh my God. My recommendation is get 100% healed. Doc, how do I know I'm 100% healed? I'm glad you asked. Stability. We talked about it. Remember? Predictability, consistency, stability. The new sexies. How stable are those thoughts? How stable are those emotions? How stable is your spiritual foundation? How stable are you physically and financially? That's a great place to start. This making sense? But don't trust nothing that ain't been tested. Don't trust nobody that ain't been tested. I don't care how nice the lashes are, fellas, how nice the blink is, how great the shape is. I don't care about, and for those of you that cross the line, I don't care how good the sex is. I don't care. You're crazy to trust anything that ain't been tested. You're crazy to trust anything that ain't been offended. You're crazy to trust anything that ain't been through a hard time, and that includes your relationships. Somebody, Ye said, I'm on the injured list, the sick and shut in list. Right. You got to be honest about where you are. But I'd rather you be on that list with an 80% healed hamstring than to be out there running like, oh, I'm healed. I'm telling you, it's so annoying. I love y'all. I love y'all. But I've met people and it is so, I'm so here, I'm so, but then when you offend them, they show you that they really ain't healed. And then they get weirded out because you get weirded out and get afraid. Mm-mm. You can't trust nothing that ain't been tested. Nothing. Okay? Way number 4. I'm almost done, y'all. 2 more. This making sense? Y'all liking this content tonight? Does this make sense? Y'all sharing this? It ain't too late to share. Numbers are climbing a little bit. It could be a little bit higher. Way number 4. Here's the 4th way you can maintain a healthy headspace. Take practical steps to resolve your problems. This is going to be good. Take practical steps. About to get, oh my God, this is going to be bad. Take practical steps. This is about to be bad. Take practical steps to solve your problems. Y'all, the only way I can explain this is, let's just say you've lost your job. And in losing your job, it has created some mental instability. Now your thoughts are unstable. You got these worries about what if and what's to come. An example of a practical step to solve that problem is to fill out an application. This is going to be bad. This is going to be so bad. Let me take down the ways to give, because this is going to be so bad. This is going to probably end up getting cropped. The practical way to approach this, losing your job and the mental stress that it's caused, is to get up and go fill out some applications. That's practical. Now, there's nothing wrong with praying, fasting, meditation. Some of us have this daily routine that we do, right? We pray and meditate and journal and work out. Great. There's nothing wrong with all those things. But if you've lost your job, at a certain point, you're going to have to do something practical, like filling out an application to get a new one. Doc, what you saying? I'll say this. Yes, fixing problems can start with prayer and reading and fasting and daily routine. Perfect. No problem with that. But let me tell you what else it includes. It includes things like addressing difficult situations in an honest and real way. You want an example of a practical way to resolve your problems? Be honest. Address difficult situations in your life in an honest way. Stop lying to yourself. You're in a financial bind, but the Amazon truck is at your house every other day. Be honest. You're in a financial bind, but your mama is draining your check because she don't want to take accountability for her own life, and here you are as an adult can get on your feet because you're taking care of more grown-ups. Be honest about your situation. Oh my God. I like that. Little H on TikTok made a really good point. Even in a terrible job market where resumes are scanned by AI, which they've been scanned for eons, they were scanned when I started in HR. It's still better than doing nothing. So what are some things we do? Yeah, you need to look at your situation in an honest way. Address it in an honest way. Stop lying to yourself about your situation. Stop lying about the man and the devil. Everything ain't the man and everything ain't the devil. And everything ain't everybody else. Here's another practical way you can resolve it. Shift from faith to action. I love y'all. I believe in faith and the power of faith. But believing you're going to get a job and believing you're going to get a job while you fill out applications is a totally different energy. Believing you're going to lose weight versus believing you're going to lose weight and going to the gym while you believe, different energy. Oh my God. Believing you're going to be a millionaire versus believing you're going to be a millionaire and cleaning up your credit at the same time and saving better, different energy. Oh my God. And that's all some of us are doing, just believing. Don't stop. Let me put my list on. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Don't stop believe. Don't stop believe. No, Keith Sweat. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. No. Oh, no. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Let me just get through these last minutes. Y'all bear with me. Stop. Why don't you stop believing and start doing? Uh-oh. I know. I want y'all to put 2 comments in the chat that's going to offend a lot of people. Comment number 1, stop believing and start doing. Come on, put it in the chat. Put it in your journal. Stop believing and start doing. See, y'all don't like this, but let me tell you, let me put this in an example that's gonna make a lot of sense to y'all before I give y'all the second one, because the second one gonna really piss a lot of people off. But let me put this stop believing and start doing in another light. Say you've been in a relationship with somebody, and you was in a relationship with them for 3 years, and they have told you for the last year of that relationship when things got bad, they was gonna change. Baby, I'm gonna change. Baby, I'm a change, baby. I'm not gonna keep doing things the way I've been doing them, baby. I'm a change. I'm a change. Baby, I'm gonna make some changes in my life. Baby, I'm gonna make some changes in my life. I'm a change, baby. And they've been telling you this for the last year. Baby, I'm a change. I'm a change. I promise I'm a change. I'm a change. I'm a change. And then they hit you with this. Baby, I just need you to believe in me, baby. I just need you to believe in me. Believe in me, baby, that I'm a king. Can you believe in me, baby? You're going to look at them and say, why don't you stop believing and start doing? Aren't you? Oh my God. See, we get this in the context of relationships. Oh, but this other stuff. No, Doc, I got to keep believing, Doc. No, Doc, I got to keep believing. Keep on. You keep on believing and not doing and see where that gets you. Here's the second thing I want you to remember. Here's the second phrase I want you to remember. You ready? This mic on. Can y'all hear me? Tester. Good. Here's the second thing I want you to remember about stop believing and start doing is one thing. Here's the second action I want you to remember. Get out of your prayer closet sometimes. Thank you, Mojave, for your support. Get out of your prayer closet sometimes. I know this is going to be bad. Doc, because there's always one. Doc, are you telling me, Doc, that I shouldn't pray? Doc, I'm Muslim. I pray 3 times a day. Doc, are you telling me that I shouldn't pray? Doc, I'm Christian. I have a prayer closet in my room. Doc, are you telling me I shouldn't pray? I didn't say you shouldn't pray. I'm telling you, your faith without works is dead. Some of y'all been in your prayer closet more than you've been in the job application line. Oh my God. Some of you been in the prayer closet more than you've been in therapy. Oh my God. Ooh. I know that one hurt. Some of you been in the prayer closet more than you've been in therapy. And this is how I know. Because when you come out the prayer closet, you crying. You didn't felt the spirit, but your attitude's still nasty. Oh my God. You still hard to get along with. Oh my God. You didn't spend hours in the prayer closet and people don't want to be around you. Oh my God. You didn't spend hours in the prayer closet and people still find you hard to deal with and work with. Oh my God. So I'm telling you, get on out the prayer closet sometimes. I knew y'all wouldn't like that one. I don't care. Get out the prayer closet. Some of you spend so much time in prayer and you ain't spent no time in practicality. You didn't spend so much time in faith and you ain't spent no time in works. You didn't spend so much time in believing and not enough time in doing. And we know it because your behavior ain't changed. Oh my God. This is why I've said to y'all that some of the hardest calls I've had with clients who are most defiant, who are the most rude, who are the most difficult to talk to and get through to were folks, Christians, Muslims. Yeah, Muslims, Christians, folks that had this supposed religious foundation, prayed 3 and 4 times a day, had a prayer closet, fasted for 40 days and 40 nights 3 times a year, did all of this stuff, but none of that changed their attitude. Oh my God. None of that changed their demeanor and disposition. Oh my God. None of that made them people that people wanted to be around. You know why? Because you did a whole lot of praying and not a whole lot of working. And some of y'all just you in the prayer room, 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 in the prayer. Hold on. In the prayer room, in the prayer room, in the prayer room, in the prayer room. And when you finish with all of that, you ain't done nothing to fix your attitude. You ain't done nothing to fix your character. All that crying in the prayer room and dancing and bouncing everywhere, or leaning over and kneeling 3 times a day, ain't done nothing to fix your attitude. I think this is appropriate. And that's what y'all do. So stop believing and start doing. Get out the prayer closet sometimes and take some practical steps to resolve your problems. If you know you have a bad attitude, yeah, keep praying. That's fine. If that's what you do, fine. But go get you some professional help. Talk to somebody who's going to be honest enough with you to tell you the truth about you. Join a recovery program if you need to. Maybe you have an addiction, and maybe prayer is not giving you enough strength to put down the thing that you're addicted to. I'm not telling you to stop praying, but I'm telling you to add with that prayer Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh my God. This is for those of you that want to be in a consistent maintenance of a consistently clear headspace. These are practical ways to get there. Leads me to number 5, and I'm done. 5th way. So let me walk through ways 1 through 4 real quick. I know the moderators will throw them up there. You guys are really good. Way number 1, take responsibility for what you can control and nothing else. Thank you, Marlo. Marlo said, send it to his mom already. I love it. Way number 1, take responsibility for what you can control and nothing else. Way number 2, never make the moment bigger than what it is. Never make the moment bigger than what it is. Way number 3, allow tough times to reveal the truth about who you are. Allow tough times to reveal the truth about who you are. Way number 4, take practical steps to resolve your problems. Take practical steps to resolve your problems. And way number 5, embrace the bigger picture of everything you go through. Embrace the bigger picture of everything you go through. You can put in parentheses with this one, practice reframing. Practice reframing. One easy way you can embrace the bigger picture of what you go through is by practicing reframing. Ah, shoot, I forgot to announce that. Doggone it. I knew I was forgetting something. You can embrace the bigger picture of what you go through by practicing reframing. Y'all, I owe y'all something tonight. Was this helpful? Don't go. I got a major announcement. Leanne, thank you so much for your support. As always, hey, y'all, I got a big announcement and I forgot. Shoot, I'll work on it on the plane. I completely forgot to put that together. Let me put this on my to-do list. Jesus Christ. Y'all, I need you to write this down. This is big. And I want you to share it. It's 30 minutes. Where is it? Oh my gosh, where is it? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Was this helpful, y'all? Y'all support the show while I'm looking for this. You're going to be glad you waited, especially those of you that have never worked with me. You're going to be glad you waited. Give me a second here, because this is really a reflection of something that I promised myself to do some in 26. Won't be as heavy, but I'm going to do it every now and then. Oh my gosh, where is it? Hold on, y'all. Just give me a second, please. This is big, and you're going to want this. Some of y'all so impatient. There it is. November the 21st. It's a Friday. November the 21st is a Friday. The time is TBD. I don't want to give you the time now because now that my son has made the team, I need to look at his game schedule. I don't know how soon they're going to start. But November the 21st, I am giving a free group work. A free group work. I am hosting a free group work titled Setting Boundaries That Work. In other words, I'm going to be doing a free group work workshop on November the 21st. That's a Friday. It's only going to be 30 minutes. I'm going to be doing a free group work on November the 21st. November the 21st, I'm going to be doing a free group work. Hold on. I lost my IG people. I'm going to be doing a free group work on November the 21st. Y'all give me 1 second here. I'm trying to get IG back on. I'm going to be giving a free group work. Yeah, I don't know what happened on IG. I have no idea what happened. November the 21st, a free group work titled Setting Boundaries That Work. Okay? Setting Boundaries That Work. This is important. Share this with your friends, family members, and even for those of you that have never been in a group work session. Why am I doing this? Because one of the commitments I've made to myself, if you know me, I am a giver. I believe in giving. Part of the reason why I believe I've been so blessed is because I do give. One of the things I want to do to try to give back more in 26 is do some intentional, targeted free group works. They'll be short, 30 minutes, that are in alignment with different things. And so you're going to have to RSVP. You'll need a Zoom link to join. You'll have to RSVP, but it'll be completely free. And that information will go out as well, but it is absolutely free. Why is this important? Because some of y'all gonna need some boundaries on Thanksgiving. Oh my God. This is why Doc working 90, 95 hours a week right now. Because y'all, it's clear from the stories y'all share with how you engage with your family, you ain't got no good boundaries with your family. All right, so Doc is being very intentional here. This is the week before my books open. That Friday, the 21st, I'm going to do a 30-minute workshop. It is absolutely free, titled Setting Boundaries That Work. And I'm going to teach you in 30 minutes how you can set good boundaries that work so that you can be prepared for Thanksgiving and the holiday season. All right. And I'm going to try to do one of these maybe at least once a quarter. I'm going to see how things go with the syllabus that I'm rolling out for subscribers. All right. And so make sure you record that November the 21st. It's a Friday, 30-minute workshop, setting boundaries that work. It's going to be free. There won't be a recording of it. So you're going to need to sign up and you're going to need to be present. All right. And even if you're driving on the road or whatever, you can listen in and do that. That's fine as well. But that's November the 21st. And we'll have that flyer out and rolling here real soon as well. All right, y'all. Support the show. I appreciate all of you. Again, it was a weird night, kind of, sort of, but a long night. Thank you for your patience. Again, New Orleans, I will see you next Saturday. If you don't have your tickets for New Orleans, make sure you do that. Get your ticket right away. If you don't have your ticket for Atlanta, you might want to jump on that right away because those are moving like hotcakes. That's going to be the last tour stop for 2025. And then we're going to take a couple of months off and restart in 2026. And of course, Peter Collins is going to join us in December. If you don't have your copy of the work, grab that. Also, letting go. And I've got 2 slots open for the 3-hour couples intensive for any of you that might be interested in doing a 3-hour session, you and your partner with me. This was very popular this year. And I've got 2 more slots for the rest of this year, and then we won't offer any more slots until next year. So all of that stuff is on the links in my bio. You can do that. Appreciate all of you. The ways to support are on the screen. Again, if we can get more of you to support, we'll certainly leave this up. Thank you so much, Valerie. I appreciate you. Appreciate your hard work. I'll be in New Orleans. Can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to meet you, Ms. Valerie. Looking forward to it, and thank you for your support, sincerely. Y'all support the show so I can leave this live up. I hope this was helpful. Appreciate you. Peace and blessings. Have a good evening. I'll see you in a couple of days. Take care now.